to Laura, and she's written something. She couldn't be here, but she's written something that Heather West will read. So thank you.
Hi, how y'all doing? Even though Alex left this world way too soon, I feel so fortunate to have been his friend and wife. I'd like to say a few things about his relationship with music and also speak of what he was about as a person. He was an individual who did what he pleased. However, he was also the most considerate and sincere person I've ever known. He loved life and people and usually befriended the underdog. He saw beauty in what other people would just dismiss. Old rickety houses about to fall down, he would say, "Now that's a great house worth buying." He'd spend 10 minutes chatting with a homeless person on the street and always helped them out with some money. He was a good listener and was very compassionate. He was also extremely generous, always giving time, energy, and money to his friends with a no-strings-attached attitude. There's one aspect of his personality that seemed to define how he approached and interpreted life, and that is a consistent tendency to be absolutely clear in expression and communication. His mind worked analytically. He had a low tolerance level for vagueness and carelessness. His relationship with music was all about analysis. When listening and appreciating a piece of music, whether it be a Beach Boys tune or a Bach partita, he was always able to pay attention to individual elements simultaneously: harmony, rhythm, melody, meter, etc. I believe this is why he loved working in the studio producing records. He spoke a lot about John Fry teaching him how to do work in the studio and how he enjoyed playing around with the different elements. The one thing he was absolutely proud of was producing the Cramps records. He would play them at home and talk about the experience. He was also quite proud of the Detroit garage band The Gories, both his work with them and the band itself. He was very excited for them now that they were playing shows again. At home in New Orleans, Alex lived a simple and relaxed life. He watched a lot of TV while fooling around on keyboard and guitar. We played music together, both classical and pop. He rode around town on his bike and loved to strike up conversation with whoever he came across. For the past 3 years, when I've lived with him, he listened and played classical Baroque music, Scott Joplin rag tunes, and 60s pop music. Names that often came up include the following: Carole King, Petula Clark, Brian Wilson, The Byrds, Teenage Fan Club, Frederick Knight, the band Free, George Frederick Handel, Georges Muffat, Haydn, and the Baroque performance group Musica Antica Köln. There are dozens more, but these names come to mind as I'm writing this. The final point I would like to draw attention to is that he valued spontaneity. This would seem to contradict his insistence on analysis and accuracy, but somehow he managed to be both at the same time. Honestly, this remains a mystery to me, and is probably why he has been described as a genius and a musician's musician. I'm only speculating on this, but I'm thinking it is probable. I will miss him forever, and will honor him by maintaining and developing what I've learned from him: compassion, spontaneity, honesty, directness, generosity, an excellent listener, and enthusiasm about what life has to offer. He had a blasé attitude towards death that didn't interest him. Same goes for sleep. He said the other day that he was hoping he was awake 24/7. Life was too interesting and he didn't want to waste it sleeping.
Aww.
I laughed at that, but I knew he was serious. On that note, I need to end this little essay and go take a nap. Here's what Alex would say: "Tonight's show."
Aww.